Does Marvel's Fantastic Four First Steps even stand a chance against DC Studios' Superman this summer at the box office? Marvel's strategy of sticking to the same approach, which once helped them outpace DC and build a rich shared universe, may have worked in the past, but now it could be what's holding them back. The excitement for Superman is through the roof, and it seems like everyone anticipated the tickets going on sale. When they finally did, Superman's first-day ticket sales easily surpassed those of Fantastic Four First Steps, making James Gunn's Superman the best first-day ticket pre-seller of any 2025 movie. But why is that? Are audiences turning away from the girl boss trope that has dominated many recent Marvel films and shows since Phase 4? Or has general interest in the Marvel brand simply cooled due to a string of movies and series that seem to lack clear direction and purpose? In fact, there's evidence to suggest something even more all-encompassing at play, something that would even put Hydra's plans to shame. Audiences have been voting with their wallets, choosing not to show up for female-led action films, and studios have taken notice. Even spin-off films like Ballerina from the world of John Wick and Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, leaned on the names of their male counterparts in the titles, but failed to draw crowds and flopped at the box office. Marvel's own Thunderbolts was rebranded mid-marketing to include New Avengers in an attempt to appeal to fans of the popular male-dominated team, yet it too failed commercially. Over the past decade, several female-led action movies have underperformed, including The Marvels and Black Widow. But this trend isn't unique to Marvel. DC has seen similar outcomes with Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 1984. The key difference? Marvel appears unwilling or unable to adapt. Despite repeated box office warnings, they seem out of step with audience tastes, trends, and broader market shifts. They continue to make the same mistakes without course correction and double down on the played-out girl boss trope with series like WandaVision, Echo, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, Agatha All Along, and new shows like Ironheart. Now, with talk that the new Fantastic Four movie will focus less on Marvel's first family and more on a character study of a pregnant Sue Storm, it will be no surprise if many fatigued moviegoers choose to skip Marvel's latest approach to female representation disguised as a superhero movie. During the casting phase of Fantastic Four First Steps, it was leaked that the script mostly focused on Sue Storm's character, and not the more popular characters The Thing or the Human Torch. Later, it was revealed that Baby Franklin, the son of Sue Storm and Reed Richards, would be a major part of the plot. In addition to this, the movie's central villain has been gender bent from the extremely popular male Silver Surfer to a lesser-known female interpretation of the character named Shalla-bal. But why? Why has Marvel focused on female-led action heroes when audiences are no longer tuning in and buying tickets? This despite comments from Disney CEO Bob Iger saying it's not the company's role to advance any particular agenda and has admitted that Marvel has lost its focus. Yet the company doesn't seem like it has made any significant changes to right the ship. To be honest, I think it's less about trying to push an agenda and more about not being able to change directions. Just 6 years ago, Marvel Studios was an absolute hitmaker. Everything they released was successful at the box office. Even the just okay ones like Ant-Man and Captain Marvel did well. That first Captain Marvel movie made over $1 billion worldwide, and most moviegoers had never read her comics and had no idea who she was. So how did we get to a place where there is more excitement for a DC movie than a Marvel movie? The previous Avengers movies were highly anticipated because Marvel slowly and smartly brought the characters together over time, leaving fans wanting to see them assemble. But today, who are the Avengers? Yelena Belova? Sam Wilson? Bob? Does the general public even know who these characters are? A better question would be, do they care? By the look of the box office, the answer is no. Captain America: Brave New World, which was plagued with script issues and poor test screenings, led Marvel to practically reshoot the entire movie. And Marvel fans still had a bad taste in their mouth from the preachy The Falcon and the Winter Soldier series, and decided to avoid Brave New World when it hit theaters. The film only earned a little over $200 million domestically and a total of $415 million worldwide. That's far from the over $1 billion Captain America Civil War earned back when Marvel actually seemed to care about fans and gave them exactly what they wanted in a movie. Thunderbolts is another indicator that the MCU is in a lot of trouble. The film was received well by critics and I liked it, but despite the glowing reviews, Thunderbolts made less than Captain America Brave New World. Domestically, it only took in $188 million at the box office and $379 million worldwide, so it made less than their previous flop. Let's compare that to the reception of Matt Reeves' The Batman, which earned $369 million domestically and $772 million worldwide. The film's success was followed by The Penguin, an HBO spin-off that went on to win both a Golden Globe and a Critics' Choice Award for Best Limited Series. As a company, it seems like Marvel Studios couldn't be more in denial about their failures if they tried, but they seem poised for a major wake-up call after the release of Superman. Regardless of whatever the box office results will be, the hype for Superman is intense, and let's face it, there just isn't much buzz surrounding Marvel's Fantastic Four first steps or their upcoming releases, including Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. The initial casting of Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom sparked a brief wave of excitement, but it quickly gave way to confusion and speculation about the motives behind the decision, leaving some fans to consider the entire casting move as an attempt at nostalgia. Marvel is stuck. They built their universe around the strength of their actors rather than the characters themselves. As a result, recasting roles like Iron Man, Captain America, Black Panther, and Black Widow was never seriously considered, because the studio saw the original actors as inseparable from their characters. This approach forced Marvel to stay the course, retiring characters when the actors moved on. With few options, they turned to introducing female counterparts to carry the mantle. However, that strategy ultimately failed. Compare that to DC Studios, now under the leadership of James Gunn. He's taken the bold step of rebooting the entire DC universe, making space for new actors and fresh storylines, while allowing only a few familiar faces to return. It was an unceremonious and controversial decision, but ultimately the right one. These characters belong to the fans, the comic book readers and moviegoers, not just the actors who portray them. Marvel, on the other hand, has refused to take that leap. This has left many people feeling unheard. They want change, but Marvel continues down the same path, prioritizing its own vision, despite the clear warning signs at the box office. At this point, many superhero fans probably never imagined they'd be looking forward to a DC movie more than a Marvel one. But here we are. This brings us back to the question, does Fantastic Four even stand a chance against Superman? These two upcoming films aren't just standalone projects, they're seen as cornerstones of their respective cinematic universes. In the case of Superman, it's the official launch of the new DCEU. Gunn has made it abundantly clear, this is a clean slate. The missteps of the past DC films and shows have no bearing on the direction going forward. However, Marvel is using the Fantastic Four movie to set up Avengers Doomsday and then Secret Wars, but Kevin Feige has never promised to reboot or recast the MCU afterwards. The studio's past film and series failures are still deeply woven into its current plans. Despite fan backlash and underwhelming box office returns, Marvel continues on without course correction. They're all in. So why should disillusioned fans expect anything different from the Fantastic Four first steps? But tell me, what do you think about DC and Marvel? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below, because I really want to know what you think. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the Cinema Maverick channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.